that comparison thing, you talk about the way in which radical self-love leads to accept other for what other is. That's a really important thing. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think I try to be really, really transparent about why I do this work. And I'm like, I love people. I want everybody to feel good about themselves. I would not dedicate the last decade of my life to tending to people's individual self-esteem. There's got to be something in it for me. I am not altruistic. And so what I see in it for me is that, again, we have used these ideas of bodies that are good and bodies that are not good, and we have structured a world. We have structured a political world, an economic world, a cultural world, and systems, right, based off of those ideas. Which means that some people who fall into bodies that we decide are good will have greater access in those areas of life, and the bodies that we decide are not good will have less access, sometimes no access. And so I just, being very honest about my own positionality, there are some places where I fall into the good body category. I'm ambulatory, I have all my working limbs, I don't have any visible disabilities, right? That's the better body in this model. I'm also fat and black and dark skinned. Those are not the bigger, those are not the good body templates in our society, which means that there are places where resource and access and opportunity are limited for my body and for other bodies like mine, and limited for people whose bodies are even more marginalized inside of that system. So I have a vested interest in helping us recognize where we are plugged into that system so that we might unplug, because when we unplug, I get greater opportunity. I get greater access. And the truth is, we all do. And that's the win. I think I've always gotten that, it's the reason I think I'd be a cult leader is because I'm very clear that it's not just me. I'm like, it's not just, Sonya wins if we disrupt this system. It's like, I'm part of an entire kaleidoscope of humanity. My hunch is we all win if we undo it.
Yes. Actually, they do say that it's starting a religion that you can do.
Yes, exactly.
Really successful at. So, I think there's room for starting something that gives us an alternative space to ground spiritually.
Exactly.
There's such a hole there.
Yes, and I think that is exactly where, that's where we're disconnected from our radical self-love. That thing that we experience as a whole, I don't think is actually a whole. I think it's buried. It's like, I remember what my bed looked like before I put 7, pounds of laundry on it, and now I don't remember what my bed looks like underneath it. Well, what would happen if I take some of that off and then I can get back to what's actually there? And I think this work is about a call to do that. Can we get back to source? And in that way, it is, for me, very deeply spiritual work. And very aligned to a whole bunch of spiritual teachings that already exist.
It's like there's a whole ecosystem that becomes visible when you start to look or work in this space of grounding in an embodied way in the world, as well as in our own bodies, in nature, as well as in our own bodies.
Absolutely.
Amazing work. I think I'd probably join your cult.
Yay! I'm a very nice cult leader.